the champ. Daniel Cormier, ladies and gentlemen, in the Jason Ellis Show. Shit a brick. Unbelievable.
What's up, guys?
How's it going?
Good, man. Good. Hanging out.
I've got a question for you. I've got a lot of questions for you, but
Okay.
we just opened up a can of worms. I think that if Demetrius Johnson fought Brock Lesnar, that he would beat Brock Lesnar. What do you think about that? Yeah, that's the show. That's the show you've just walked into.
Oh, okay.
Absolute morons get paid to do this, believe it or not.
125 DJ, 265 Brock Lesnar are same weight class.
What? No, how can they be this? No, they're who they are.
Like next month, the super fight of all super fights.
Brock Lesnar wins.
How does he win?
He just grabs him and he wrestles him. Just because
Demetrius can't just dart around him somehow.
problem is there's those little guys are too small. I've worked with 135 pounders in the room.
Okay.
And because they can't hurt you can just walk them down.
Oh.
And eventually you grab them and you outweigh them.
Okay, so his shot wouldn't actually.
It wouldn't be an outside shot. It would be Brock just kind of walking him down, cornering him, and just the pressure will start to tire you out because you can't hurt the guy. You can't stop the guy from coming forward.
Okay.
It's the Cain Velasquez effect. That's why when Cain's just constantly going forward into guys, they gas. He doesn't have to be hitting them. They gas and then he starts to take him down. I believe that he would just walk him down and eventually he would grab him.
Is it tempting to you to not to eat more of what you want and be like, look, Cain, I don't know how much longer I have to wait for this shit. Can't I just have it now?
No, I mean because obviously I'm the champion now at 205 and I enjoy fighting the weight class. I hate the weight cut.
Okay, because I was gonna say I can tell you do.
I hate the weight cut. It's one of the worst things. But the competition is so much better. It's hard, yeah, and the guys are faster. They're better. I like it, man. I like pushing myself.
What do you weigh naturally? What would you?
Right now, I'm probably about 238. So, yeah, and I've already started to try to bring my weight down. It wasn't like I was 238. I was probably more than that.
See, I'm an MMA fighter, but like a joke one, not a real one. But I'm a potential fat guy, and I have this thing where after the last fight I had, I was like, yeah, man, I'm gonna eat some food that I want to eat, and I've noticed some guys they'll have cheat weekend, or I'm like, nah, dude.
I don't have cheat weekends. I have cheat months.
Right.
I'll sit and eat whatever I want for months, and my wife's like, you're out of your mind. She's like, it's gonna be too hard next time. She's like now forcing me back into the octagon so that I don't have too much time to put on weight.
Well, it's a good idea.
Yeah, she's like, go back because I don't want you to get too big.
It's kind of a close call, the last one.
It was very close. It was very close, and man.
That was a good trick, huh?
Well, it wasn't a trick. I just made the weight.
Right.
I willed myself to do it. I just put my head down, closed my eyes, and thought light.
Did you really stand on a scale in your hotel room and you were on weight and then you went downstairs and then it said you were over? Really?
Yeah.
I mean, is that
it should not happen.
How do you not, I mean, especially when you're starving, how do you not crack just get...
Go crazy?
I would be so fucking crazy at everybody. I'd be like, okay, whose scale was I on? Who put the scale at an angle, or what? Is this scale real? Which one of you is telling the truth?
I can't really hit him because it's my scale. Yeah, he's one of my coaches. And I can't really hit him because it's my scale. I would like to. I'm known to take swings at my coaching staff at times. I take swings at them at times. I throw stuff. They said I'm like one of those sweet and sour kids. One day I might be nice, and the next day I'm just miserable. Telling them not to talk and stuff. I'm just like, don't fucking talk.
Wow. You do seem like a really friendly guy. I mean, you can talk
very
a lot.
nice. I'm very nice, but not during that last week.
I feel like that's kind of I remember people telling me that about Randy Couture. I've met Randy several times. He's a sweetheart. But then they were like, dude, when he's in the cage, he's like the meanest person I've ever met. He's just an asshole.
Even in the training room.
Is that a wrestling thing?
We're fighters. I mean, you fight. When you're training and when you're making weight, it's no fun. These guys get beat up so bad when they hold pads for me. I put them in full body gear.
Yeah.
I kick them and I knee them and I beat them up and they're just exhausted. By the time we're done with 5 rounds of pads, I just leave them on the ground spent. I don't check on them. I just go in my house and take my shower.
But that is you preparing for... You need to be somebody that doesn't care. You need to be ruthless.
You got to be ruthless, man.
Right.
It's a dirty game. Even for my opponent, right? So Jon Jones, he does the knee kick, the front knee kick.
Yeah, which I I don't like it, but I mean, my Keith Jardine, good friend of mine, his trainer is the one that showed everybody that, and
Yes.
he said when he hits pads with Wink, he's like, no, I fucking hate that strike. I will not even do it.
Uh-huh.
But it does look like it works good when you do it.
It works. He pokes you in the eye. John will poke you in the eye.
Do you think that he'll be checked for that in the future? But now that the rules have
Now
changed,
the rules have changed, he won't be able to like gauge as far out. But I really don't have a problem with it.
why is that?
He's just trying to win. The guy wants to win. You got to be ruthless.
Okay.
So why not kick somebody's knee? Rampage was mad. He's gonna ruin my career. I feel like we could ruin each other's career every time we step in the octagon.
Yeah, there's that. But you know as well as I do that, like a punch in the face. Even if you get knocked out, you wake up. You could probably go to the gym the next day. When you get that knee buckled,
Bend it.
how is it when he fucking? Because he's landed several of those on you. When you woke up in the morning, was that leg affected?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
And
so
I've got bad knees. It's really not that big a deal unless you're a flat-footed guy.
Okay, so if you're standing on it,
yeah, it'll make it hyperextend going backwards.
right, and that's
That's where the
permanent.
issue is.
That's
Yeah.
ACLs right there.
But for me, it's like I'm not that flat-footed. And I'm
Right.
going forward, So a lot of times he's doing it as he's kind of backing up.
Yeah.
So it doesn't hurt as bad.
So John does seem to be really irritating to you more than anybody on the planet. Like I know you guys have obviously had your wars and your wars of words, but at this point, to see how long it's been going and to see some interviews where off camera, even though if everyone starts turning their phones on, so I've seen it because I don't hang out with you. Him to say something about your kids or something. Like I remember you saying something. Don't bring my kids into this.
He doesn't get to say anything about my kids.
Why
He
would
didn't mention them. He didn't say anything. He didn't say anything particularly bad.
Oh,
It's just that you don't get to speak my children at all.
but he was just saying something about that you have children. Was that?
Yeah,
all
he was.
said?
Well, he said something. I think he has this little line he spews at times. How are you going to tell your kids that you didn't beat Jon Jones, but you're the champion? That's his little
okay.
practice line.
Okay, yeah.
So he's going into his little spiel, and before he got it out, they had a water bottle sitting next to me, so I smacked him upside the head with it. Said, "You don't get to mention my children."
And how was he about that?
We just started running at each other.
And
We were gonna fight.
How do you stop?
We just
How do you
got
stop
up and
each
started
other?
to fight. Like we got up and we were gonna fight right there, because for some reason the UFC decided that for the press conference, John and I were okay being this, with nobody in the middle.
And wait, are you ready to fight this guy? Like if he walks in right now, you gonna
I'd slap
fight?
the shit out of him.
Far out, man. That's not like a lot of. Is that like some extra pressure in your
No,
life?
it's no pressure. It's no pressure. It's just I like to fight him. I've been waiting for 2.5 years.
When you say you'd like to fight him, you like to fight him because you beat him. Then, because dude, you got one loss. You're the most undefeated fighter there is. You just said the heavyweight division is too easy for you.
Well, not necessarily.
Well, who do you think is tougher to fight? Stiopic or fucking
Jones? Okay,
Steve
Jones
May-
is a harder fight than Miocic.
Okay.
I think, for me, style-wise. But I want to be tested. But the hardest fight is Cain Velasquez. I can't beat him.
You're saying in the gym you don't beat him?
No. I can't beat Velasquez. I never have been able to.
Really?
No. He's too good. That's why, like, I look at him and I cannot believe people actually win against him. It's unbelievable to me.
There's always a kind of a caveat though when he gets beat. If you look at like
Dos
Verdun.
Santos, it was the knee. His knee was all jacked up,
Right,
and then
and
Verdun.
he got caught once, a couple years ago. Everybody can get caught, and
Yep.
and Dos Santos hits like a truck. When Verdun beat him, he went down to Mexico City at that elevation, not really conditioned for that
Yeah,
fight.
yeah,
It
for
was
sure.
last minute. So when Cain loses, there's always a
Yeah.
but.
I think he's the best, man. I still today think he's the best fighter on the planet. Like, but yeah, I think Jones is a much tougher fight than Miocic.
Has Cain ever thought about because he's the same size as you, he could make that weight as well.
Yeah, but he's a lifetime heavyweight. Lifetime.
What does that mean? Because you are.
Well, no.
You felt like you were.
Well, when I wrestled 184. Like I wrestled 184 in college. I wrestled 210.
How old were you?
22. But then when I wrestled in the Olympics all those years, I was wrestling at 210. So I only went up to heavyweight when I started fighting mixed martial arts.
How'd you make it to 184?
It was ridiculous. I came into the. You guys know Mark Munoz?
Yeah.
I came into the Oklahoma State wrestling room. I transferred as a junior, and Mark and I were both there. And Mark had been the 184-pounder before. And Coach Smith took us on the scale, right? And he goes, okay, lighter guy's going to have to go down probably. I was like, okay. I weighed 224. Mark weighed 227. Mark stayed at 197.
No
I went to
way.
184. Yeah.
Oh.
It was rough, man. That was hard. That was hard.
Because that would be a constant I don't eat, right? And then cut weight on top of it.
Well, they do hydration tests. So you have to get your body light enough to where you can actually still be hydrated whenever the NCAA comes to check you. So you can't be pissing complete yellow and they think, well, you still got 13 pounds to lose. You got to be like 195. So I had to get to 195 while staying hydrated, because when Mark and I were in college, like 2 kids died. Remember when everybody was using creatine?
Yeah.
And the creatine was like making you put on muscle and hold in water.
Yeah.
But then guys were trying to suck water out in the sauna. Like 2 dudes died in college. So they got real strict on it. So I would have to get light enough to where I was actually hydrated enough to make that weight class.
Do you feel like they'll ever change the way they do the weight thing in the UFC or MMA as a whole?
California's trying.
They really are, huh?
Yeah, they are. So.
But if California did it, then what? You change weight classes when you're fighting California?
So here's the thing, right? So July 8th, exactly 1 month from the fight, the California State Athletic Commission is going to come to the American Kickboxing Academy.
Yeah.
They're going to check my weight.
Yeah.
I have to be within 10% of my body weight in terms of the drop, which would be 225.
Wow.
If I'm not that, I don't know. I don't even know what's going to happen. But then they actually starting to do this where you weigh in, the next day you weigh in again before you go into the octagon. Now, I've done this on a number of occasions, but this one is going to be mandatory, that they don't want you to gain more than 10% of your body weight going back. Now, for me, that's an issue. When I fought Anthony Johnson, I walked into the octagon, I think I probably was about 232 pounds. Which would put me 7 pounds over the 10%.
How the fuck do you put that much weight on the next day?
A lot of water, man. Like, I swear, Jason, when I made weight on that Friday morning,
yeah.
when I made weight, I was so dehydrated that I started drinking and just pounding fluid, right?
Yeah.
And USADA came to drug test me. And I don't think I used the bathroom till 6 p.m. I had 4 gallons of water already before I could piss.
So, to make weight, when's the last time you drank water before you stood on the scale?
I drink a gallon of water on Thursday. I don't stop drinking. I keep drinking the whole time.
So how does that work?
You just... I don't know. Like, I seriously still cannot understand how the weight thing works. Like,
that's not how everybody does it, right?
Yes, these guys have started to do something now, these nutritionists. So my
Yeah.
nutritionist is Dan Leaf. He does Fitness VT, right?
Yeah.
He feeds me every 3 hours. So I'm
Yeah.
like, how am I eating more but losing weight? It's like in no time you'll realize you lost 13 pounds in a week. Like, how did this happen?
Yeah.
And then I drink water and water. I drink Monday 2 gallons, Tuesday 2 gallons, Wednesday, Thursday 1 gallon.
Do you sweat it out before you get on the scale?
I do sweat. Yeah. Oh yeah,
Okay.
of course. Yeah. That's the only way to take the water off. So Thursday night I'll go to work out and do my weight cut and I'll be like 217. So I have to lose like 12 pounds, lose like 8, and then lose the rest in the morning.
Okay. So, and it's just like, do you do this bath thing or the? I always thought that to lose a lot would be like to be in a really hot place.
That's what I would do. I would run. I would run and get my plastics on.
You don't get fucking tired? You
I
think it's
do.
a good idea?
I'm exhausted.
The next day you're not as good as you could have been if you were well rested, right?
Not really, because you run all the time. It's
Yeah.
like I'm constantly running. Like that's my coach. This guy Rosendo, he's a boxer, right?
Yeah.
So he understands how important road work is. So I run all the time. That's all I do. It's the only way to get my weight down, and then to make weight, I just run.
And then cardio-wise, the running thing is obviously the main,
works. It
main
helps.
objective as well.
Yeah, cardio. It helps my cardio, and it really does make you lose weight. I mean, you just jogging. You don't have to be running fast. You're just jogging.
What about because I have bad hips and stuff, so I try to use the bike or rowing machine or swim. But running is...
Swimming's good.
It
You
is?
won't lose the weight, but your cardio will really get better, especially if you can actually do it where you're swimming a lot with the head under.
Right. Because you're not breathing that much.
You're not breathing that much, so you're building. It's like a VO max or some VO2 something.
Yeah.
It allows you to breathe better. Yeah, if you could swim with your head undermost.
That's what I did. I tied because my pool's not very big, so I tied a rope with a surf strap around my back, and I would just swim in the middle of the pool, and because the surf rope, it like slacks out and then pulls you back in, so it's like tries to drown you.
Some resistance.
Yeah. So
that's crazy.
Nice. You may have just invented something.
Yeah, Dominick Cruz is copying me. He's not copying me. He's just
Dominick does it.
No, he was the person that helped me with a few ideas. I actually went down to Alliance a couple of times and got some pointers from him, and he was super helpful to me.
That head tattoo must have hurt, huh?
Yeah. No, you're a pretty smart guy.
Could I see the back? Holy smokes, that's some detail too.
Yeah, it's actually the back bit that wasn't that bad. This bit was a bitch.
Really?
Yeah,
Right above the forehead.
changed my no more tattoos hurt anymore, because it was like another. It's sort of like when you go through a barrier in the cardio world where you're like, I can't do it, and then you get there, and then the next time you go to that, you're like, man, that's nowhere near as hard as it was last time. Now every tattoo I get after the one on the top of my head, I'm like, I don't even care. I can't even.
You don't feel it.
I mean, I can feel it, but it's not. I mean, this one was. As soon as it went down from the back to the top, I was like, fuck, I am an idiot. Why did I?
But it's too late to stop.
I got a big dirty line down the side of my head. I got to commit now. Like, let's do this. But it was the last couple of hours, I was like,
oh my God.
Every time it hit me, I was like in a lifting,
just
like
tense.
holding weight shit. Yeah, nothing calm about it. Even tattoo guy, people around me are like, man, it's tough, man. It's tough. I'm like, yeah, anyway. But, here's what I want to talk about. To me, you're not that big. Like, you're not a giant guy.
Big,
Same with Kane. He's not a very big dude. He's got a really big head, but he's still not.
Oh my God, he's got a big head, doesn't he?
He's a freaky guy. Like, he is like not a. He has no abs, but they're obviously in there. And his cardio is, except for I've been to Mexico City. You're crazy to not go there to acclimate yourself. It's fucking ridiculous.
I went, guys, after fighting Rumble, right? So I went after fighting Rumble, which was only about 2 weeks after.
Okay.
So I was in shape. I was ready to go.
Yeah.
I took a couple weeks off and went and met Kane in Mexico City for his last week of training and for the fight. I'm pummeling with him a little bit. After 2 minutes, I'm in the corner like, oh my God, what is happening?
Yeah.
My chest was burning in my throat. I was like, fuck.
It's scary.
I got worried. I was like, shit, this might be a problem. He might have came way too close to the fight.
Yeah.
Because he only went like a week to train and then the week of the fight. He should have been out there a month.
Yeah. I was in Albuquerque the other day and I did some run up the sand hill with Keith Jardine, and at the end I was on my hands and knees at the top of it. He was standing up and I was not standing up next to him. I could not get back up to my feet. I was like, he was like, you got to make it to the top. I'm like, I'm going, dude, I'm going. And when I got to the top, I had this weird cough burn in my chest and my lung. My fucking voice sounded different for like 2 days. I thought I was getting a cold. And I'm like, man, I think I'm getting a cold before the fight. And then it just went away and I'm like, no, that's just
altitude, man. Real altitude.
Burnt me.
I felt like I used to go to Colorado Springs all the time.
Yeah.
And it's not nearly as high as Mexico City and Albuquerque. Right. But I would be like, oh my goodness, it's hard to breathe.
Yeah.
And in Mexico, I felt that same thing. And I was like, so the thing is about Kane, though, like, we all can agree that he fights at a pace that is unheard of, especially for a heavyweight, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if he could ever fight in Mexico City because I don't believe that pace is realistic for 25 minutes at that altitude.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I think that I told him that. I go, man, because someone asked me, they go, hey, DC, not every fight, would you want to fight in Mexico City? I'm like, nah, I don't want to because I fight like that. I want to keep a high pace.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could do it at that altitude, and I don't know if Kane could. It's hard.
Let me ask you this. The fight against Jon Jones, I think that it was pretty even all the way until the fourth round.
Yep. I got tired.
Right, you did.
I got tired.
What I think a little bit you might have been more tired because you don't like him and you put in
too much emphasis on the emotional
in
the fight, and it was crazy at the beginning. It was frantic.
Yeah.
It needs to be a little more controlled. I can still go hard.
Yeah.
I've got to be controlled and hard. And also, I did some things in the first fight that allowed for me to take more damage than I really needed to.
Okay.
This time I know that I can't do those same things. First 3 rounds are very competitive. I mean, through 3 rounds, I had outlanded him in terms of striking, and
it was anyone's fight as far as I was concerned.
And I got tired, and then he he didn't do all that much, but he was able to maintain the control a little bit better. A lot of wrist control, pushing me against the fence, you know. So he won that fight.
And he's in Albuquerque.
Yeah.
So he's got that thing that he trains with all the time up there with that level. Do you realistically think that there's a more cardio for Daniel for you to like have in a fight? Is that as fit as you can be, or can you be fitter and can you push like that for 5 rounds instead of 3?
Well, I don't think that the issue was cardio. So first, the most important aspect of the fight was this. Through 15 fights, I had won every round. I had controlled every aspect of every fight. I took damage against Jon Jones.
Yeah.
He kneed me. He kicked me to the body. So his work also played a factor in me tiring.
Okay.
I'm not too selfish to admit that.
Yeah.
But I need to be more patient in there. I can't be so crazy. And also, I learned from it. This is what I always talk about, me learning from my mistakes. When I fought Alexander Gustafsson, same type of fight, same type of pace, but I was able to maintain it because I knew what it would take in rounds 4 and 5 again. Because when I fought Josh Barnett, round 4 and 5, I was still kind of cruising.
Right.
With Jones, I can't cruise as I couldn't cruise with Gustafsson.
But a lot of that's psychological too, though. I mean, there has to be something as far as it drains you physically to truly fucking hate the guy that you're in the cage.
But he still fucking hates the guy. He just said he'd fight him right now.
Yeah, but
I still do dislike him. I still do dislike him, but I do need to. I do understand now, right? That when the cage door closes, it's just it has to be business. It's a competition,
and you can keep it there with the guy that you almost fought in an interview.
I lost track of that before. I got it now. I can understand it better because it didn't benefit me. Why would I do the same thing? That's insanity, right?
I know, but I feel like being super angry at somebody is slightly temporary insanity, and he's a very aggravating guy to you.
Yeah, he is.
He makes me angry when you guys are talking because of how irritating. I feel like you're less annoying to me for him, but he's very. I'm like, because I'm older, so I relate to you more, and I'm like, oh, the young guy. And I'm like, you're just poking him. I'm like, you're a fucking asshole. And I also think that there's... Because I have 2 different sides. Keith says that he's a sweetheart. I'm like, well, maybe he is a sweetheart. But he ain't a sweetheart to Daniel Cormier. I can tell you that.
No.
Because we've seen it on TV. And then I've seen the thing where he's like, fuck you, man. I'll fucking kill you. And then the TV comes back on and he's like, hey, man, I really like everybody.
And that would used to drive me nuts.
Right.
Like, now I'm like, I know who he is. So I like to mess with him, too. And it's fine. You know, like, I think that... So before, it was almost like I was being the moral police. You know, I'm like, why is this kid trying to throw everything away? What? Was I really willing to help Jon Jones, though? Live a better life, Jason? No.
Right.
Now I don't care. I don't care if it all crashes and burns. Before, I'm like, why does this kid want to throw away everything? He's got the world at his fingertips.
Yeah.
What does it matter that he wants to throw everything away? It doesn't matter.
To you.
Because I'm not going to help him.
Right.
I'm not going to... What am I going to do? Come in as the big brother and go, hey, you know, you really shouldn't be doing that.
Right.
So it's like I've let that go and it kind of freed me a little bit.
Okay. I could see how you would, as a person that you're one of the most talented people that's ever been in a cage, and then you look at him, because to me, I used to be a professional skateboarder. There were people that I knew that I just knew physically they had more attributes than I did.
Yeah.
And if I had your fucking attributes, I would not be pissing them away for 2 seconds, because if I had what you had, I would do so much with it, and you're blowing it. And he seems to me as a person that he could do anything in MMA if he wanted to.
That's what drove me crazy.
Right.
I'm like, man, people would die to have what you... People would die to have arms as long as Kevin Durant.
Right.
People would die to be 6'4", 205 pounds with a wrestling background. People would kill for that, and you want to piss it away. But now I'm like, let him piss it away. It's only benefited me, right? His mistakes they've only benefited me.
Because I don't think he looked that good the last time he fought.
Well,
I mean,
he did.
You saw that.
Well, I think now with the UFC, you're seeing more guys open to really saying their gripes in terms of fighter pay with Demetrius and everything else. Guys that are upset, and guys are more inclined to just speak their truth. You heard it with Alexander Gustafsson the other day with John, in regards to John. He goes, guy's a cheater. He has to be. Guys are more truthful. And with USADA, you have to compete clean. And if Jon had done all the things that he's done in his career, there's a good chance he was doing things that could have helped his career too.
And you feel like that would account for the Jon Jones that we saw against OSP?
Yes, that's why he looked like he did.
So are
That's
you planning? Man, it was very obvious that you were bummed that it wasn't you in the
That day.
during that, yeah.
Because I mean, I wanted to fight. Obviously, I love fighting, but I mean, to see him fight and be so tentative,
Yeah.
and be so unsure was like, wow, who is this guy?
Do you expect to see that same guy?
I think we'll see a guy closer to that. But he's still going to be good. He's still going to be very tough. He's going to be tough to beat still with everything. But, yeah, Jon has had some help throughout his career.
It's got to be a personal.
I used to think, is it or isn't it? I mean, I had friends in the MMA community that have laughed at my cluelessness to it. I've heard people say BJ Penn was like, wait, everybody's cheating? And somebody saying to him like, what are you, a fucking idiot? Like he was clueless to it. And then I see people's bodies change lately.
Have you seen guys post USADA?
Yes,
They
no.
don't even look like the same people.
Yeah. They
don't even look like the same people.
Which is, I mean, if that doesn't tell you, because I can tell there's a different rule going on here. You cannot, like, if you want to get paid, you're not going to receive the victory. Even if you win, they will catch you. They'll Brock Lesnar you.
Yeah.
Even if you got as far as in the cage, they're still going to catch you for doing it. So you're not going to get away with it.
Right.
So that does tell. If I'm Daniel and I'm like, that was super close to me, and he's been out for a long time.
Yeah,
this is your window. Is he gonna actually take the fight?
He's gonna fight. He's gonna fight because being a UFC champ, it kind of became a part of him. It became who he was because he won it so young. He won that belt so young, man, that it was almost like you didn't really know who Jon Jones was because when he first came, he was Jon Jones, the Christian guy, right?
Yeah.
Praying and everything. But that was only for a little bit because he was the champ in no time.
Right.
And then you started to kind of see the true Jon Jones. I still don't know if anybody knows exactly who he is because he doesn't know.
I was going to say that he wouldn't know, but I also think you would know when you're young, really young, and you receive a lot of acclaim. And I feel like when he first won the belt and he was in the cage sitting down like that, I felt like the whole world fell in love with him, and you knew it. And he felt like he shook the world. He was like a new Muhammad Ali.
Jason.
People looked at it. I saw him go, I'm a god.
Yeah.
In there. Like, what I've done is mind-boggling. And when you do that at that age, it's hard to return to reality from that.
I saw some shit the other day, man, about it was some interviews.
Yeah.
With him back in the day. And one was him the morning of the Vitor Belfort fight. Remember?
Yeah.
Not Vitor. Shogun.
Okay.
You remember he stopped the robbery?
Yes.
He stopped the robbery. Some old ladies getting robbed.
Day, yeah.
Same day he's running. On his run in the morning, he stops a robbery. Goes and becomes a UFC champion. He's sitting in his bed and talking about how tomorrow he's going to be a better man than he is today because of what he's about to experience. I'm like, shit. This is eerie. It's talking about, I don't want to be remembered as a guy that messed everything up. It's fucking odd, man.
Wow.
Because it's like this guy foreshadowing his life. A young kid, 23 years old, that has no idea what is about to get a hold of him. And I'm like, I don't want to watch this shit. It's actually sad because it's almost like subconsciously, I don't know if he knew he could handle it. And I told this to Dana last year. I go, boss, or 2 years ago when I won the belt, I go, I kind of sympathize with Jones a little bit more today than I did before. He goes, why? So I'm experiencing this as a 36-year-old man. He did it as a 23-year-old kid.
Right.
I know how hard it is now as a 36-year-old man to get lost in everything because everything's accessible now.
Yep.
People are throwing themselves at you like you're the belle of the ball everywhere you go. Because who doesn't believe a fighter is a badass?
Right.
You're starting to receive what Dana calls mailbox money. The money that just comes in, you don't know what it's from.
Yep.
You got a new sponsor from Monster or Metro PCS or some other company that's just sending you money. It's like, I can see how a young kid would get lost. And I try to think back to when I was 23. I'm like, could I have handled that? I don't know.
When you say you don't know, it means probably you can't.
That's what I'm saying. Like, at 23, like, I don't know. But again, see, my 23 was different. So his 23 was spent in front of 15,000 people becoming a UFC champion. My 23 was spent in Stillwater, Oklahoma, buying a house and getting married.
Right.
You know, so it's like
when you add that one, when marriage and kids,
it changes everything.
Then free money is like, it's not really your money.
Yeah, it's not. But
I've always speculated that with you and Jon Jones, that it was more than just the cheating and the cocaine and the shit talking. That his way of living his life is literally a personal affront to someone like you and Kane, who are known for always taking the hard route. Like, it's not about like what corners can we cut. I mean, you're legendary for your work ethic and the AKA guys as a whole, and he's legendary for always being able to skate by on this talent. And
as Jason said, when he was skateboarding, it's like you see a guy that has all these tools, right? So that there's a story out there, and I don't believe it, but there's a story out there that John trained for 4 days before he fought Alexander Gustafsson. 4 days. That's what people are saying. I believe it was a little bit longer than that, but 4 days.
Let's say a week then.
Yeah. Say he trained for 2 weeks. That's still not enough.
Right.
But he was able to do what he did. That's why
you might have done some cocaine with some people.
Partying the whole week. Yes. But he could have done that. That's why Alex is saying, this guy's on steroids. There's no way a guy that didn't train beat me. Right. In 4 and 5. When I got tired, for as hard as he worked, how is this guy? It's like Lawrence Taylor, right? Lawrence Taylor, they said Lawrence Taylor would be like passed out on Saturday night. They'd be like, LT, it's Sunday. We need to go play the game. And LT's like, 6 sacks. LT goes and he kills it. Yeah. It's just some guys have it, man.
But LT was probably on steroids too.
LT was on steroids, man. LT was on steroids, man.
Do you think that they'll have John come on the show when you're hosting on the Fox show? Or would they oblige you because you are a host and you do a great job, by the way?
Thank you.
I would be sweating if I was anybody in the MMA community that wanted the talking gig, because you're the best guy at it. You and Dom are
thank you,
top notch.
Thank you.
Because I know they've had Cody on with
Dom. That didn't work out very well.
Why are they? Well, then why do it? To me, it's the exact same thing as you and John.
I interviewed John once. It was weird. It was before we fought the first time.
Okay, right, but it wasn't. Okay.
It was before we fought. He had just beat Glover Teixeira, and he came on. I was working the desk, and he came on. See, so they like to do that, right? And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, right? So I was on the desk when John fought Glover, so I was able to talk to him and go, "Hey, I'm next."
Yeah.
Wonder Boy Thompson was at the desk when Tyron won, and he made this weird, awkward call out, as only Wonder Boy would do. Steven's all, well, hey, Tyron champ, you look pretty good today. I was wondering if maybe, you and I could fight next. Yeah. And it was like, the shit don't work. Yeah. You gotta be kind of rude. Steven's all, well, I was kind of wondering if maybe you and I could actually fight. I'm like, God damn it, Wonder Boy. And then me and Dominick are trying to help him, and he's like, guys, that's just not me. We're like, dude, say this or say this, because Dom will just verbally abuse you with the fucking same face. Yep. With no emotion. Well, Cody, we're on Fox. You need to learn how to control yourself. And Garbrandt's going, you motherfucker. He's losing his mind next to the octagon while Dominick's just standing there going, you're stupid. He said TJ Dillashaw wanted to kill him when they did that face down. That face up. Dom just sat there making fun of him the whole time, and he goes, TJ really wanted to fight me when we left that place.
Well, I mean, I've said to Dom several times now that you're an asshole, man. Like, there's no... I mean, he's like, no, man, I'm a realist.
Are you his friend?
Yeah.
Then that makes two of us. I told Dominick, I go, hey, you better be careful with the way you treat me. You don't have many friends. I was like, people don't like you.
No, I know.
He goes, I go, be careful with how you treat me because you don't have friends. He goes, I have friends. That bothers him.
Not that many. Yeah, I know, because he doesn't have many. Because he's too. I tried to tell him, I was like, I was like you in my skateboard career. I would tell everybody, hey, man, your fucking style is a piece of shit, because it was unnecessary to say that, but I felt like I had to be real and tell you that you fucking do look like a piece of shit. Your style, you might be real good, you might get a lot of tricks, but you look like a fucking onion when you skate. Yeah. And that's just the way it is. And I'm just a realist. And I was like, now that I'm 45, dude, there's people that I know in skateboarding that still don't want to know me because when I was 25, I told them they look like a pile of shit for fucking 10 years. You need to let a little bit go. He's like, no, man, I'm just being real. I'm like, look, dude, you're you, and I respect that, and you're awesome. I'm just saying, because you can't fight forever. Mm-hmm. And when you transition over to the other world, it's every now and then. I'm just saying, is it that necessary to explain to everybody everything that's wrong with them? Like, I feel like for TJ, yes, explain to TJ everything that you see that's wrong with him because you are fighting and you should get into his head and do whatever you want to do. But don't explain it to like your neighbor.
He's the best, dude.
Yes,
I love it, but you're right. He's the best. I see him do this to people all the time, and I'm like, you better stop. I'm like, well, that's another person on this planet that will never be your friend. You know you can't make friends because that's another person that will never be your friend, dog. Yeah. No. I love him. I love it. I like it. We actually talk. Like, I'll be in San Jose, we'll talk on the phone. It's like, because I can talk to Dominic. I think he's funny, but he's a crazy guy, man.
No, I've had these conversations in the car with him. I was like, look, dude. Dude, he's had me at the gym. He's taken care of me, sparring with me, put me in team workouts where you don't get to do that, you know. Yeah. And taking me to dinner and shit. He's like told me I got staph. He was like, don't do this antibiotic. He like DM'd me, and I'm like, what? He's like, one of them will tear your ligaments up for like 6 months. I'm like, fuck, okay, thanks, dude. I'm like, holy shit, this guy's like babying me. Like, he's like my fucking MMA father. This guy's helping me a lot. But then in the car, just me and him, we'll be talking about somebody being a steaming pile of shit. And I'm like, dude, it's unnecessary to bury everybody.
He's crazy, man. He's the best.
But his face is so funny, like you said. It's just like, what? He isn't. He's a piece of shit. Like, how is there something wrong?
What? So when he's doing the thing with Cody, he's like being Dominic.
And Cody is a hard-head motherfucker.
Cody's not messing around with you, man.
I don't think any of that reality TV shit is fake. I think
Cody Garbrandt is crazy. Cody Garbrandt's crazy as shit. He grabbed TJ by the neck.
Yeah.
How you going to grab that dude? And it worried me for TJ. Because I'm like, I don't know if you can beat a guy when you come back from that. He just grabbed you like
so crazy you say that because Dom said the same thing. Dom said, you got grabbed on the neck and you didn't do anything. And I'm like, well, he kind of did, but after
you gotta just lose your shit, man. The moment...
Isn't it crazy they both think that, Michael?
The moment you're sitting there, even if you're coaching the fight, the next fight, you gotta do something.
Right.
You gotta throw something at him. You gotta do something.
See, now Daniel and Dom both told me that. Like, to them, it's a loss.
You have to do... Yeah, well, because you gotta win every step of a fight. You gotta win every step.
Before the fight?
Before the fight. You try to win every fight, every step.
Would you prefer to have a fight with somebody where you guys are respectable to each other and you fight and win or lose, that's the fight? Or do you enjoy this back and forth drama?
I like it.
Okay.
I live for this shit, man. You should see me in the gym with these guys every day. I drive them
insane. Is he an asshole in the gym?
I drive him insane. This is what I do. I love it.
Well, this enhances your legacy. You're
also, it makes it bigger. It makes it bigger. Sure. It makes the fight so much bigger. I fought Rumble Johnson last, right? Oh, it was very respectful. We're shaking hands and shit. And then the pay-per-view numbers come back, and I'm like, you son of a bitch, you got me. Or Alexander Gustafsson. I think they're phenomenal fighters, but it's like, people don't tune in. They want to see the shit.
How's that punch?
Did you sense that Rumble was done? Even before the fight? He legendarily announced, he's like, I went into this, I could sense that it was my last fight.
Did he try to sell you weed?
I was going to say that.
Rumble.
You would have got a hell of a discount, right?
Rumble's the plug now. I didn't know. He seemed to be saying all the right things. He trained hard and he was ready to go. I mean, I can only prepare as for myself. I can't worry about what he's doing. Yeah. I kind of knew. I just kind of knew in a competitive situation, me and Rumble, that I would beat him. I've known him for a long time. People don't know this, but Rumble used to come and work Oklahoma State wrestling camps when he was in junior college.
Huh.
So he kind of always like, well, these are the guys that are on the Olympic team, and I knew I might have had a little bit of a big brother thing on him, so I did it all the time. I always did it. Like, every time we were in the same place, I tried to make sure I was like the big brother.
Okay.
Because they put us together because they knew we wouldn't fight. So we'd go to do radio interviews, and I would try to take his chair and like sit down and make sure he was like standing, because I'm like stupid stuff like that, but constantly like going, like pushing
Keeping him down.
Exactly. And he just let it. And when I saw that he would let me do that, I just kept doing it and doing it. And I feel like he kind of just accepted it. And then when we got into the fight, he probably expected me to go try to wrestle him, and I didn't. I just was like, all right, let's fight.
He tried to wrestle you.
He tried to, because to him, I had made myself King Kong. I'm 10 feet tall, right?
That's weird.
And I wasn't afraid of him.
Because that was the other thing I wanted to ask you. I mean, he did land clean with a punch that I feel like most people go to sleep from stuff like that. I mean, maybe because it wasn't on the chin, but I mean, he did land. Was it an overhand right?
That was the first fight. That was the first fight.
But he landed a big one.
He kicked me in the face the second time.
Did he break your nose?
He broke my nose. Yeah,
Okay.
He kicked me right in the face. I dipped into a head kick.
I mean, you gotta have a weird head for that, right?
I have no neck. I think it comes from the neck. Like, I swear to God, the guys that if you got like a strong neck and like this, it's harder to knock you out, I think. Yeah, but he kicked me right in the face. But it's like, again, like, I mean, am I gonna just fall down and be done? No, I'm gonna keep trying to fight.
I know, but it wasn't. You weren't even on Queer Street. You just got kicked in their face, and it almost lifted your feet off the ground a little bit. But when your feet were back on the ground, they were moving again.
I just got back to work.
So, have you ever been rocked? I haven't seen a video of you like actually kind of.
I got Mike Kyle. I don't know if you guys know Mike Kyle. He's a crazy guy. He did a knee in practice once. He wasn't wearing He wasn't wearing knee pads. He double kneed me, and I was like, that was kind of bad, Mike.
What do you mean double knee? Like 1-2 in the air?
Like, you know when they jump and they double, like they try to throw a double knee? Yeah, he kneed me in the face. He was like frustrated because I was beating him, so he kneed me in the face, and that kind of messed with me a little bit.
When you say messed with you a little bit, you got a little bit wobbly, or you're like, whoa.
I had to go get a test for a concussion that time.
But that didn't stop you right there and then, though, right? Like, you were still standing and fighting.
I kind of grabbed my face. It was early. It was like 2011.
Okay.
So I didn't really know exactly how to deal with big shots like that.
Okay.
Kane has put me down before, though. One time, not with a punch. It's like, for some reason, I got this new Muay Thai coach a couple of years ago. This guy taught Kane Velasquez how to knee and all that stuff. And one time, he just, like, from the outside, just threw this knee. Boom, right in my rib, right?
Yeah.
And then I backed up and he hit me with like a left body shot. And I was like, okay, hold on. And I had to step back and put my knee down. That's the only time I've ever been down in the training room. I was like, okay, I need a moment. There's too many shots to the liver, you know?
So you realize that is, I mean, you are a subhuman of sorts. That makes no sense. Like, you're a game, and everybody that you fight and all the people that have punched and kicked you in the head, you haven't gone down. I mean, you're talking about this one time that Cain Velasquez kneed you in the stomach and you stopped, which means in a real fight you wouldn't have stopped.
No.
You didn't get switched off.
No, I've never been knocked out. Like, put to sleep? Never.
So you do have like a freak. That's a freak thing to have.
Kind of got a big head, I guess.
It's not that big.
Well, I mean,
maybe it's just because I've hung out with Cain before, but it's not. I mean, Stipe his head is fucking. I mean,
massive.
He's a giant
Those
man.
guys are big. Those guys are. That's why they're at heavyweight. You know, I'm not the biggest guy. You know, I'm only like 5. I think I'm actually shorter than 5'11" now. I've actually gotten smaller as I've gotten older.
That happened to me too.
It's ridiculous.
I used to be 6'1". I'm not
Really?
6'1" anymore.
I don't feel like I'm as tall as I used to.
I think skateboarding broke my shit, and everything's just crushed and compounded, and I'm just a little bit shorter, and that's the way the cookie
It's just
crumbles.
the way it goes.
So you got a really tall guy that you need to fight,
Mhm.
and he's super long. And do you want to beat him by? Because I don't think he gets knocked out very easy.
No,
seems
he's got
like
a great
he could
chin.
take a shot, right?
That's another thing. He's got a great chin. Because I hit him with some good shots.
Yes, you did.
I landed some uppercuts in there that were real good. Second round, I hit him with some shots in a row, and he started to kind of turn away. I think that that is the most that he's shown that punches has really affected him.
Okay.
Because he kind of started to turn away from me a little bit. But it was in succession. No one punch was really just like hurting him.
So how do you see a fight with him going again? Do you see a decision at the end of 5 rounds, or do you think that you can finish this guy? Because you realize this is the biggest. You finish him. There's
It's
no.
over.
Yeah.
I
You're the greatest fighter. Like you,
Yeah.
You're the greatest fighter alive. Because to me, Demetrius is pound for pound the greatest fighter. But I believe if Jon didn't do
he would still be pound
drugs
for
and
pound number
stuff,
1.
yeah,
Yes. Jon would still be number 1 pound for pound. But let's talk about not just pound for pound number 1 right now. I beat this guy. Why am I not the best fighter to ever fight? Why? I beat everybody. That means I would have, except for, but we didn't have to fight each other. But I had beaten Jon Jones, right? He would be the guy that people, the GOAT, right?
Yep.
I beat Anderson Silva.
Yep.
Don't people consider him the GOAT?
I mean,
I would have beat.
when you fought him, he was not really.
It doesn't matter though. I beat all these guys. Remember when Bigfoot Silva beat Fedor Emelianenko?
Yep.
When Fedor was #1, he was the best. Next fight, I knocked him out in the first round.
Yeah.
I will have only lost that one fight, and I have won heavyweight championships, light heavyweight championships, and everything else. Why not? Why can't I be in the conversation?
I'm not gonna argue with you.
I'm just saying, like that's what I'm talking. I'm talking about legacy.
You want that?
I want legacy for this one. This one is the one that builds legacy.
You realize if you do beat Jon, what is left?
Number 3, right? Because as a competitor, him and I both can't be 1-1.
Right.
We've got to finish.
He gets a rematch. Do you think that he would take a rematch? If
Yeah,
he
he would.
He think he?
It's gonna drive him nuts when I beat him, because
Okay.
just like it drove me nuts when he beat me.
Right.
Jason, when I lost to him, my wife, now she was my girlfriend at the time, she would wake up January 3rd. I got home on January 4th because I got the hell out of Vegas the next morning.
Yeah.
My wife would wake up. She would take our 2 children, and she would leave. And they'd leave all day. They'd go to the children's museum. They would go. Take as much time as you need to make sure you're okay. And I would stay. I had a condo at the time. Door would close. Black curtains would go up. No TV, no nothing. And I would just lay there and I would replay the fight in my mind. Then I would watch it and I would cry. And I would watch it and I would cry. And I would just lay there. And I would sleep and I'd wake up and I'd watch it. And I did this for 3 weeks.
Oh my God.
I
dude.
mourned it as if someone died. It
Right.
drove me crazy. Just like it's going to drive him crazy when I beat him on July 29th.
Because that's what I feel like. If this is the way you see it, this is the way you've taken it, you are better than you've ever been that day.
Yes.
The last time you fought to this time, you will be better. This is the best DC.
I'm a
that's
better
ever-
fighter today than I was in January 2015. I'm a smarter fighter. I've got more skills. I'm just better today than I was then. If he anticipates seeing the same guy, he's in trouble.
And he is going to be better than he's ever been? Or you sounds like you might be banking that he won't be. You wouldn't be banking on it, though,
I think
obviously.
he's going to be special because he is special.
Yeah.
I just don't know if he'll be able to stay with me like he did last time without the help. He ain't going 25 minutes at that pace.
Wait, you're saying that there's a substance you can use that will give you more cardio?
EPO. It helps you recover. It helps you train longer. It helps you train faster.
What's it called?
It's an EPO.
That's
But
what.
I thought you said he doesn't train enough. So how
No,
how big
but
is
he trained against me.
Okay.
He trained for me. He said he didn't train for Gustafson.
Okay, yeah.
They told me he did train.
I thought
They
that would
said
imply that he slacks on camps habitually.
Yeah, but
Sometimes.
he wouldn't slack on.
Not on this
DC,
one. And
'cause-
Rashad.
Yeah.
And Rashad Evans, they said they'd never seen him train like he did when we fought and when he fought Rashad.
So he
because
trains
there's
like
the
a mother
backstory.
because he hates him.
The backstory.
He could
it
not
makes it-
handle
Yes,
you beating.
losing.
Right.
Yes, he can't.
See,
handle
that's the
losing.
thing that's the thing that I think though. If you beat him, I don't know if he can handle. That would be such. I mean, no one's ever beaten him.
Yeah.
If
And
he
to
gets-
lose to me.
the one that he hates the most. Can he? I mean, does he go to?
But he'll sit here and tell you he doesn't hate me.
Yeah, but we know.
But
I mean,
he'll
I
sit
don't
there
even-
and say that though. He'll go, I don't really hate DC. It doesn't matter. You know?
We know that. We
But
all
he'll
know.
sit there and say that. You know?
That's not working. That doesn't
It's
work
crazy.
anymore.
It's crazy, right? But yeah, he'll train. He'll be special July 29th. He will be special. I'm just interested to see how he shows up. At a different time, man. The game changes. This dude's fought twice in 3.5 years.
Yeah.
Doesn't fight. The game changes. People get better.
Look, Max Holloway was in here the other day, and he was like, people that are the 2015 champ, it's 2017. It's 2 years, and I know enough from going to the gym every day. I can tell, man. There's new stuff in there every day. People are, even the bad guys on little cards, they're not like they used to be.
No.
Everybody's good. I mean, I'm a guy that. I'm like, I want to have a couple fights, and I've been training for a while, and I'm like, man, I could have got away 10 years ago. I could have got away with fighting people that had like 3 or 4 fights undefeated. I might have been all right. Now, if you're fucking 4-0, holy shit,
You're probably
man,
pretty damn good.
you've got stuff.
What about your boy? the kid at 205, Volkan Ozdemir, right? So this guy, he just knocked out Misha Cirkunov. He's fighting Jimmy Manuwa the same night as John and I are fighting.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He's from England.
Yeah. He won the other day, right?
Yes, he
Yeah.
knocked out the kid from Canada in 22
Walking
seconds.
back. What the fuck was that right hook that wasn't even a...
Back of the head, I don't even know.
How does that make that dude go unconscious?
I have no idea. So Volkan Ozdemir, right? This guy
Yeah.
was fighting in Titan FC, right?
Okay.
It's a smaller organization. I guess on the Friday he was supposed to fight in Titan. UFC calls him and he goes, "Okay, I'm gonna fight. I'm not gonna take this fight
Yeah.
because I'm gonna go to the UFC."
Yeah.
And now he's ranked number 4 in the world. This was 2 fights ago. So you're telling me you could have ran into that guy in
Yeah.
Titan FC?
Yeah,
The levels are so much higher. He went from being a guy that was fighting in a small organization to beating Ovid St. Preux and then knocking out Misha Cirkunov in 20 seconds.
I mean, I know it didn't last very long, but I mean, he took a couple of shots and he wore those like they were nothing. And that dude that's a big ass man that was coming
Cirkunov's a
for him.
beast, man. But it's like that. You know, the level of MMA has just grown so much that there are no easy fights anymore.
No, man, I know it's like 4-ounce glove, but I'm like, that right hook had nothing on it. It was like
They were
leaning-
so close, right? What
Yeah.
happened? I still don't know what happened to Misha. I
How
was
does
like,
that
what
guy-
happened, Misha?
Did that guy get paid to fall? I mean, what the fuck? Such a giant man got.
He fell down.
He
hit him on the back of the head, man. It's just
So
when everything goes off, it goes off. You
doesn't
can't
happen to
control it.
you, Daniel.
I try not to let him hit me behind the head.
You've been hit. I've seen you be hit behind the head.
Rumble kicked me behind the head once because I had
Well,
some
there
knots.
you go. What's
I had
that?
some
What's that
knots on-
blow?
A
The
giant
next
man
day-
kicked me in the back of the head.
That dude, I had so many knots after I fought Rumble. I'm like, how do you do this to me every time, right? Every time I fight him, he barely hits me, right?
Yeah.
But I have knots everywhere. Even in Buffalo, I had knots. I was like, how do I have knots? He barely touched me.
I mean, he does swing wide.
He hits
Maybe there's-
so hard. He hits
does,
so
right?
hard. Oh my God, he hits hard. He hits so hard. He hits so hard.
I
He's
feel like
fast.
it hurts more when it doesn't buzz you. So you must like feel the pain immediately.
Like when I get hit hard, like honestly, it's so funny, but when I get hit hard, it's kind of like it goes boom. Like it just kind of goes boom. Like, you know, like if you just smash your hand up against like the table,
Yeah.
and it makes that sound where it goes boom. Like, you know,
Yeah.
that's what I feel. I don't feel like it makes me like go dizzy or anything. I feel that like the impact, and it's kind of like it's like the hand hitting like a hard surface. Cause like I feel like that gunk sound.
Yeah.
It doesn't make me go dizzy or anything, but I know I'm getting hit hard. I can feel it, you know.
Yeah, I fought a month ago and I got hit and
You got hit hard. You got hit hard.
But it didn't hurt, but like my left leg kind of gave out a little bit, and he saw it, and I saw that he saw it, and I was like, oh man, and I smiled at him because I didn't know what else to fucking do. I felt like it was a good shot. And instinctively, I was just like, hey man, that's cool. And then he was like, oh yeah, and I'm like, fuck.
That's don't do it. Listen, as you go forward,
He's coming.
Don't smile. It's the biggest tell. Guys will be fighting and they're like, that didn't hurt. Don't posture.
Well,
'Cause when you posture like that, it's like, oh, I got his ass. So when Rumble knocked me down the first time, and I was like, oh shit, here he comes, because I could actually see him coming towards me as I'm on because I fell on my stomach,
Yeah.
and I could see him like, I have to get out of the way of the next punch, because
Yeah.
the next one's gonna be the one that knocks you out. It's not the first one.
Right.
It's like the second and the third one.
Yeah.
Don't laugh though.
Yeah,
Don't
well,
smile. It's a tell.
But my leg gave out. I've been what's the joke? The hide is gone. The cards are
I've
out.
also been the tell.
Yeah, the tell.
the tell's like when you're left, like you do the chicken dance. You're like, oh, okay.
I just
Thank you,
saw. I went what? And he went, oh yeah. And I was like, fuck, dude. You got me.
You grab him.
But
you
he
gotta grab him.
I was trying to grab him. I got hit. I lost badly in that. I won in the end, but I mean the first round was the
It
most.
was bad.
Yeah, I just got punched over and over again. I was trying to reach for him, and in the end, I think I took him down on me.
You pulled him into mouth.
I was so because I single legged him and tried to hook him onto his back, and I was still like so wobbly that I just pulled him onto me, and then I remember getting elbowed in the head, going, This ain't supposed to happen. Like,
Jesus
you get
Christ.
into the worst spot on the planet.
I've seen that though. I've seen guys like when you're fuzzy,
Yeah.
you just do whatever.
Yeah.
You know, so maybe
I think it worked.
When you tell the story, say that you were pulling him down so that you can go to half guard, and then you were going to sweep him.
Oh, see, I'm not looking for a title. I suck.
You don't want to pull anybody into mount.
I just like fight. I just wanted to fight. I'm 45, so
You love to fight.
Yeah.
You just like to fight, huh?
I just love the sport.
Isn't it a rush, though?
It's the greatest thing I've ever experienced in my life.
So when people are telling me, they're like, are you going to retire? I'm like, man, there's no drug that matches this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, where am I going to get
Well,
this
John might
rush
argue
anymore?
with you, but...
I'm like, but where's that? I still think for everything that he's done, he probably still enjoys that more.
Yeah.
I will argue that he still loves that moment where he walks out into that arena through the tunnel more than even like his biggest benders.
I agree.
Because there's nothing like it.
Would you be surprised if you weren't announcing UFC fights in, say, 10 years?
I started doing the color commentary. I did UFC 211 when Stipe Miocic fought Dos Santos. I did UFC 208. Talk about different ends of the spectrum, right? So 208, all decisions. Longest day of my life. 211, great fights. They had the Rashad Coulter Chase Sherman fight, the two heavyweights that were just slugging it out. Stipe Miocic looked phenomenal. Joanna Jacek looked like a beast.
She's awesome.
Right? Like, it was like, I had great fights, you know, so I'm already starting to do it. You know, I'm going to do UFC 215, the one after mine, so I'm starting to do it, man. I love it. I love watching the fights. It's kind of weird, though. Like, me fighting is one thing. Cornering and watching the fights next to the octagon is something completely different. Kane fights, Rockhold fights, I am a mess, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say I am I'm more nervous watching my best friend fight than I am fighting.
It's bad.
It's worse. Yeah,
It's horrible because you can't help him.
Right.
You can do nothing to help him. You know, like, so watching Verdum do what he did to Kane was like, oh, this is horrible.
Right.
Or Bisping and Rockhold.
I mean, dude.
It's like,
How's
what do
that?
I was like, what do I say to him?
How's
Because
that?
I'm with him, you know. I'm like, I know he's the best middleweight in the world. I know that Luke Rockhold's the best.
There's a weird punch too. I've watched it a couple of times. It's not even a very good hook. It's like
You don't want to lose to Mike.
Yeah.
Not Mike.
He's gonna
Mike.
rub it in.
Oh, he's the worst. Mike.
He's the worst slash the best.
He's the worst and the best. I love Mike. We work together all the time. He's great.
Yeah.
But it's like, you don't want to lose to Mike.
No.
Because Mike has completely erased the fact that Luke beat him the first time.
Yeah.
It means nothing. Like, Luke will be like, well, we're 1-1, and Mike's like, oh yeah, buddy, but whatever, who's got the title?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, Luke's done. It's like, you have no argument.
And
he can't get a fight now because he's not like a WWE star or something like that. Like, it's
Dude.
so impossible. If you're like the contender, it doesn't mean you get a fucking title fight.
It's crazy shit that's going on nowadays.
I'm like, how does he not get a title? How is he not even in
Well,
the conversation?
Because he lost, and he hasn't fought again. Like, he needs to fight, you know, so
Is he hurt still or is he not?
he's healthy.
Okay.
And he's
it's a
kinda-
money thing, right?
Well, initially it was, but right now it's like they just need to get him the right opponent, man. Him and Musasi would be the fight,
Yeah, and
then see what happens next. But right now at 185, with Mike's injuries, shit's gotten so weird, you know. So Romero and Whitaker are fighting for the interim title, and then if Luke and Musasi fights, then all you're really doing is saying I'm next after the next guy. That's it. Because Mike will fight when Mike wants to fight, you know, with his knee. Say if he fights in November, Luke fights Musasi in July, when's he going to get a title shot? Not till March, April of next year?
I mean, whoever fights Bisping next gets the belt, in my opinion. Out of I think there's 6 people I know that can take that belt off him. Look, I could be wrong, but I think
unless he
lands another lucky weird
he's
flat
much
shot.
he's much tougher than people give him credit for. I'll be honest with you, Jason. Man, he's got great cardio.
Yeah, I agree.
He's got
Very
really
hard
good
to
boxing.
keep down.
He's very hard to keep down. So you get no like rest because Mike keeps you working.
Yeah.
And people tend to look past him, which may be his biggest attribute. Is that people are like, well, I'm fighting Michael Bisping. He's not so good.
Wouldn't
and then
look
when you
past
get in
him
there,
now.
you're like,
Would you? Nobody would.
of course they would. You just told me 6 guys that could beat him.
But if those guys get to fight him now, he's not a stepping stone. He's the belt.
But that is the exact. That's why guys are clamoring, because they think, why Why else would George St. Pierre say, I'll fight 185?
Right.
You think George St. Pierre is going to fight Romero?
No.
Or Rockhold?
No.
He ain't fighting those dudes.
Right.
He only said he would do it because they think they can get the belt off of Mike.
Right.
But then they get in there with him and they're like, oh shit, he's better. I remember Kung Lee, right?
Yep.
Was like, this is the perfect fight for me.
Yeah, I disagree.
4 rounds later, Mike's battered and bruised him all around the octagon. He's exhausted, and then Mike knocks him out.
Yeah.
It's like people underestimate him, man.
Look, I like the fight against Romero because I don't think Romero is a very good striker, and his whole game is like to hold people down. And I think one of the greatest people in MMA that can get back up is Bisping, and he gasses, and I think he can make Romero gas.
I think Romero would have. The problem is you got to get to that part with Romero. Lately, he's been just knocking guys silly. And Romero will cheat.
Well,
Romero
yeah,
will
shit.
actually. Romero cheated Tim Kennedy, man. I got to be
I
honest.
agree.
Dude would not get off the
Hey,
stool.
but that's the ref's fault. When you go, no, wait a minute, I don't want to get up yet. You need to go like this. You go, no, dude, you're not getting up, so the fight's over because I'm the fucking ref.
He did it against Weidman too, where
Dude, he spilled the water bullshit. I can't stand that guy. I can't stand that guy.
He did it against Weidman too, you know, but knock Weidman out, you know, double knee knockout.
Yeah.
Man, finished Tim. Sadly for Tim, poor
I
Tim
know.
Kennedy. He's winning, right? He's got momentum. Yoel stays there, and I can't say Tim would have won the fight, but in the next thing you know, he knocks him out, right? Knocks
But, I
him
mean,
out.
that
in
guy's
that
sitting
round.
on the chair resting while Tim's yelling, saying you need
Get
to get
up.
up, which is going
Get
to
up.
take your cardio away, take you out of your game plan, and then they go back to fighting.
If anybody deserves not to be cheated, Tim Kennedy is the guy.
Right?
Yeah.
You don't cheat Tim Kennedy.
You owe Tim Kennedy.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it sucks that he had to lose that fight.
Yep.
I hate that. Anyway, thanks for being on the show, dude. Best of luck in the fight.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
I'll be watching, and look, I don't, like I said, I think John has friends that are my friends, and like Holly Holm thinks he's great, and Holly's probably the cutest person I've ever met in my life. But you win, dude. I will rejoice so fucking hard because people with all this natural given talent need to recognize. You know what I mean? Because it's to me, heart is and hard work and dedication. That's the thing that kids need to know about. If you're born with all the gifts, that even you need to work even harder because the gods have given you something that not everybody else gets. And if you don't have it, you can get it by just sheer will and determination.
Yes.
You can get shit because. I mean, you do have something. The gods have given you some bullshit as well, because I've seen you throw people. And it makes no fucking sense whatsoever. And then, of course, to never be knocked out and be a heavyweight MMA fighter, that's nobody can say that. Everybody gets stung. You don't.
Well,
That's
I don't know,
weird.
maybe it's just too bold. Man, I don't know. I don't know what it is. It just they don't. It just hasn't happened in that way. It just hasn't happened. I don't. Maybe I got a good head movement or something. Maybe
So you're saying maybe you see it at the last second, you kind of roll with every single one that's hit you.
Maybe I'm rolling or doing something.
Did you roll with the rumble kick in the face?
Into it. I went into the kick. I rolled into the kick.
I rest my case.
I went my face into his leg.
I did that a month before my fight with some a team came to my team, Saxons, and there was a San Diego guys, and I didn't even know what it's all about. They're like, yeah, another team comes and we just spar and we hang out. I'm like, oh, cool, I'll come. And then everybody's like 145ers, and there's two bigger guys, and there's one guy that's like, he's gotta be like 6'4", 6'5", big black guy, and I'm like, hey man, looks like you're the right size for me. And I'm not. I'm like 205 when I'm eating cakes, and he is far better at Muay Thai than I am, and I can tell already. And I'm like, whatever, I'll hang. I'm thinking he's ain't gonna like try and kill me.
Yeah.
So we move around and we make it to the third round, and he's obviously beating me, but I'm hanging in there. I'm doing all right. And then I'm more of a boxer, and I actually am fixed from this. I leaned in, and he threw a head kick, and I was just on the mat. People were taking my gloves off, and I was like,
What?
Yeah, dude. Like
You got knocked out. Holy shit.
And I'm like, wait, what happened?
Huh?
How does that feel? That's what I want to know. How does it feel to get knocked out?
Yeah,
How does it feel to get knocked out?
Yeah, what happens? Like, what happens? Like, when you get...
Oh, it's
'cause
awesome.
I went to sleep once. Like, Lou put me in a triangle once, and I didn't know in the beginning of my career.
Okay, because
I
I've
like
been
that
choked
worse.
out before. I think getting choked out is worse.
It's the worst.
Really?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like you just wake up. You just kind of like...
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you get knocked out, too.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I've been knocked out a lot from motocross and skateboarding, so I've had like, I don't know, maybe 13, 14 knockouts. But I've been like out having spasms. I've had an ambulance. I jumped off a 50-foot wall into a vert ramp and whipped off the back and hit my helmet.
Oh my god!
And I was in hospital. I pissed my pants. I was like fucking out. And that wasn't cool. That one was not cool because I was fighting to breathe. I felt like I was fighting to breathe, and then I would wake up and then I'd go back to sleep again. So that one fucked with me. But the other ones where you just get, because most of them have been skateboarding and dirt bikes. Fighting's only been that knockout, and I mean Shane Carwin kind of knocked me out, but it was more like he knocked me out, and then when my head hit the mat, I woke up again.
You up?
So it wasn't bad. But it's usually
you just kind of go stiff.
Well, the stiff ones have only been skateboarding. Fighting one was the best knockout I've had in fighting was that guy. That story I just told you. He kicked me in the head, but I literally was like, I'm like, and I'm like, what's going on? And I'm like, oh fuck. He's like, dude, he kicked you in the head. I'm like, fuck, you're joking me. He's like, yeah, man, you kind of leaned into it. I was like, whoa, that's wild. And then when I got up, I was like a little wobbly. But to me, it's like, I mean, I know it's hard for you. I can't believe you haven't been stung. You've been stung where it's like, whoa, things gonna go slow.
No,
I hate you.
Not really, honestly. Like, not yet. Even.
Time.
Oh wait. I got kneed by Alexander Gustafsson.
Okay.
I didn't know I was hurt though. Like in my mind, I was fine, but when I rewatched the film, my leg was like shaking. And shit. But I didn't feel it though.
See,
I didn't feel the fuzziness. I just felt like I was hurt. You're
in a real fight, because I feel like when I was in a real fight and I got stung, I was clearly concussed in the last fight I had. Clearly, and I took like maybe 5 or 6 solid shots after the first one that rocked me. But because it was the fight, I had no time to assess what it felt like. I was just like, keep going, keep finding a way out of this. So I can't tell you what it was like, but in sparring, like if I ever just somehow like bink right on the jaw, and I'll be like, whoa, and I'll be like, god damn it, you know what I mean? And
do you stop or you?
No, fuck no.
In training, you don't go, well, maybe I shouldn't.
No, I mean unless it's like if I get like, you know what I'm saying? Like okay, this is
like if you get hit on the tip of the chin, some guys in training you'll see them kind of do the chicken dance, and we're always like, okay, you got to stop for a little.
Okay, chicken dance I would stop, but I'm saying like a poof, and to me, I hear a whoa, and I'm like, keep your chin down, keep going, and I just keep going because I figure like that's dude. If you're like not Roy Jones Jr. and you're mean, where you're like a 45-year-old potential flat-footed guy that's going to get punched in the face a lot. I only have like 2 or 3 fights, probably 1 really. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to get like as many as I can in this year. And then it's over. And then I can look back and be like, I tried. I had a go. It was fun. It's because I can't keep going. I know that. So my style is, you're gonna get caught, Jason. So you should like be ready to just fight brawl when you get caught.
When I got choked out,
I don't want to brawl. I just my plan was in the last fight. I've been working on it, dude. I was like angles and on my toes. A jab, come back, look for the counter, and fucking I don't know. 1 minute into it, and fucking punched in the head so hard. And then I was like wrestling. Even my corner was like, my wrestler's like, wait, he knows how to wrestle? I'm like, I guess so.
He punched you into wrestling knowledge.
He punched me into wrestling and jiu-jitsu. Submitted the guy, for Christ's sakes.
See, the
like
thing
a blue
about
belt.
Getting choked out is I have those like mini nightmares.
Yeah, no, because it lasts longer.
Yeah, when you get knocked out, you're just kind of like, whoa, that's fun.
I was getting choked out by Luke in a triangle. This was in 2010, 2009. First started. And he's like, I thought I was fine, right? Because even though I was in the triangle, like I didn't have enough knowledge of the sport to know that I can't allow him to pass my arm over to the opposite side. So I'm sitting there, and he passed it over, but I somehow get my arm back, right? So I'm like, I'm fine. Well, he just forget about my arm. He just started pulling my head down into his crotch.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, I'm like laying down on his belly, and I wake up, and he's trying not to move me too fast, right? So he's got to lay in there, and I'm just like laying with my head down, and I feel him like kind of like smacking my. He's like, hey. I wake up, and I'm like, what? He's like, he's just laughing, smiling at me like. He's like, you got your ass. Your ass went to sleep.
See, that's when you when you're fresh in jiu-jitsu, that's the times where you get caught. Because the more I mean, being stronger, I'm like, fuck that. I'm just gonna hold my breath and muscle out of this.
Yeah.
Those were the times that I got woken up on the mat.
Yeah, when you didn't know.
Yeah.
Like now, it's like there's not many submissions. Like we'll grapple for long times. It's like no one really gets submitted anymore. You're just kind of doing positions.
Yeah, maybe you.
Yeah, it's like we grapple all this time, and we're really not getting submitted unless Buchecha comes.
I was gonna say, good. I'm glad you have a guy that, because I have my 10th planet black belt that I train with. I get tapped off. Like a good day for me is like where it takes like almost 5 minutes to get submitted, and that's just me going. I ain't going for anything. I'm just like, no, I'll stop that one. No, I'll stop that one. I'll stop it. No, but it's coming. Make no mistake.
When Buchecha comes,
he submits you.
Oh, especially if I start trying to play jiu-jitsu, right? So if I'm just getting up, like I'm just constantly pushing him away and underhooking him just to get back to my feet, I can generally get back to my feet.
Right.
But the moment I start going maybe half guard a little bit,
engaging.
Oh, he mounts me and he chokes me, and it's mostly chokes. It's not like arm bars and Kimuras. It's mostly like he'll take my back, and then once he's on my back, it's over. Then I'm just in survival mode. I'm just holding on to the choke arm.
Hey, good.
And I'm like,
This brings me joy.
Yeah,
I'm happy to know that somebody
kicks our asses.
is doing that to you, because I feel like it's very rare that anybody gets to do that.
That dude kicks our. He's the best. The best.
You guys get the best. I mean,
he'll go with me and Kane back to back and whip both of us. Jiu-jitsu dude. Marcus Buchecha, Almeida. He's the best.
Wow.
It's amazing. But that'd be like, Anthony Joshua coming in and sparring you in boxing.
Yes, it would be. It'd be like fair. Just box Anthony Joshua.
Okay, right.
Because he's that good. Like, he's the man.
Well, now you've opened that can. Boxing, Conor McGregor. What is that fight? Is it like a embarrassment?
I'll buy it, Jason.
Yeah, me too.
I'll buy it. And
but it's an embarrassment,
the question,
right?
I don't like the question because it makes me not be as Conor biased as I want to be, because I like Conor McGregor.
Right. I mean, he organized this fight to happen.
He has no chance against Floyd Mayweather.
I know.
Jason, you go fight Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, I mean,
it'd
you know what?
I
would for $70 million.
There's no $70 million, Jason.
Wait, what do you mean?
Let's get this straight, okay?
Wait, he's getting that. He's not getting that money?
Nobody's getting $70 million.
Why not?
Okay, so
what's everyone saying that for?
Floyd will.
Floyd may. But Floyd may get that. Floyd won't get $200 million. You know what I'm saying? Like, these numbers are inflated. Like, people think Manny Pacquiao got $140 million for the fight against Floyd.
You're saying that's not true?
No. I think Manny ended up, from a good source, in boxing, I think Manny made somewhere in the range of 25 to 30.
Okay, so it's one of these things where it suits everybody to tell the same story.
Yes.
That he was a huge person.
I heard
made all this money.
I heard he made somewhere in the range of 25 to 30 million. Look, Canelo Alvarez just fought Chavez, right? He fought Floyd. Remember the stories where Canelo's getting 15 million, and then last fight he fought Chavez, and they said he was going to make 14 million. Now this is years later, right?
Yeah.
They're saying that's his biggest payday ever. Where did it change? Where did it change?
So what's
did it change?
What's the angle on?
It looks better. I don't know on Conor. I don't know what.
No, but what's the angle in boxing in general making up the amount of money that they get?
Because it looks better. Like Floyd Mayweather's still making these massive paydays because boxing's still big.
It's also like when you see
right?
Boxing gets to brag about how big the purse is.
The purses are massive.
And can you tell from his Instagram if Floyd has $100 or $200 million?
No, you can't. You can't tell. We only see what they want us to see. Floyd makes it, but I don't think there's 70 million in that thing for Conor.
But when you say Floyd makes it, you're saying that, because I would say if anyone was going to be exaggerating about what they do and what they make, it would be Floyd.
So he just said 120 million, right?
So that means he makes
the story. Well, no, he 120 million he might have made,
okay.
But the story was he made 400 million.
Right.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like it's like that. It's like that. You know, he might have made $100 million, but he didn't make 400 million. That's crazy.
Every NBA player I've met is 3 inches shorter than their muscle. You know, that's just the way of making it look cooler.
Things are, you know, like
what the fuck is that?
Magic Johnson is 6'9" for the history of his NBA career. I've been a huge Laker, but he's 6'9". He walked into Kevin Embiid, and Bean's 6'6", and I'm like, you guys are the same height. You know, like, and it's just that's the way it looks cooler. To the average fan, it's just cool.
It's just different, man. It's like it's you know, Will Conor make more money than he will ever make in a UFC fight? Yes.
Yeah.
Even if it's 40 million, even if it's 50 million, 30 million, he'll never make that in a UFC fight.
Let me ask you this: he can not win this fight, but can Will Mayweather knock him out?
So here's the win. This is the win for McGregor.
He won't
Just
knock him out,
standing up.
right? No way.
Just standing up, he wins. Right? Just making it
Make it all the way,
rounds,
because
he
it'll be
wins.
all hard, like getting against.
Oh man, he fought Floyd Mayweather for 12 rounds.
Right.
Like, the problem is, like, Conor has to make sure he doesn't get tired. Conor gets tired.
Yeah.
And if he gets tired against Floyd Mayweather, it's going to get super ugly.
And Floyd's he's not a knockout artist. I mean,
So-
Yeah, but dude,
the
it's
shit out of him.
there's
It's not gonna-
Well, the problem with you guys...
wait a minute.
is-
You grab that microphone right there.
So
What?
this is the problem. problem.
Boxer opinion.
Yeah, but this is the problem, right?
What?
So everybody's forgetting about, like, they're like, Floyd ain't going to knock him out. I get it. When he did this whole Money Mayweather thing, he was very safe. But back in the day, Pretty Boy Floyd, he would go out there and really bang with guys. And if he just decides to fight Conor, I still don't know if Conor has the ability to hurt him, even if he fights as if he's just like he did back in the day.
You just agree to that completely? He doesn't
Do you
wanna
guys
say
remember what he did?
anything.
Do you guys remember what he did to Diego Corrales?
Nah.
He beat Diego Corrales so bad his dad said, "Okay, enough. I cannot watch my son take this anymore."
Okay.
Zab Judah.
My dog,
Hey.
he cracked my dog.
Hey.
a couple
Didn't
times.
he
My
cheat?
dad-
Didn't he cheat against Zab Judah?
No, that was against Victor Ortiz.
that
That
was
was Victor Ortiz's fault,
But
though.
that
He
was
kept
Ortiz.
tapping
Yeah,
gloves. You don't tap gloves every single time you guys break. Like, he kept tapping, so Floyd punched him. The worst was Arturo Gatti.
Yeah.
Oh
that was-
my
that was
God.
bad. He was outclassed. And there you go.
But
Arturo
think
Gatti
about that.
versus Conor McGregor in a
Couldn't
boxing
Conor
fight. Who
McGregor
wins?
beat Arturo Gatti?
No. Right.
Look at what Floyd did to
Right.
Arturo
And
Gatti.
he's the guy. It's funny. That's a perfect person to bring up because he's a guy that can take a shot and is all heart, and that would be what Conor is trying to prove here.
And
he
land one. He's
right,
Conor-
and land one, and that's
you-
what.
Is Conor betting? Do you think one left hand is going to knock out Floyd? Just one. It's not.
No, but you could get him wobbly, and that's a highlight video that you
Do
can
you
play for
remem-
the rest of your life.
What
Yes, you can.
happened? What
Do you remember
happened?
what happened to Shane Mosley when he got him wobbly?
Yeah.
he got him
Fuck,
wobbly.
yeah, he did.
He got him wobbly, and then Floyd goes, "Okay, let's reset. Let's go about this in a different direction." By the end of the fight, it was 11 rounds to 1, Floyd Mayweather.
It's an amazing guy.
I'm also
right?
remembering him punching Ricky Hatton's head to Mars.
Hit-
That was another knockout
On
I
a
totally
check.
forgot about. Yeah.
On a check, Ricky Hatton decides, I cannot play the game from a distance, so I need to rush him. Floyd Mayweather, boop, check left hook. Ricky Hatton goes face forward into the post. Fight over. But that was an accumulation of what Ricky Hatton had taken. And we are talking about guys with hundreds of amateur fights on top of all the professional fights.
Yeah.
I think Conor does it to make his money, but
Right.
we cannot realistically expect him to go in there and beat this guy.
There's nothing wrong with the sideshow. People pay for. I mean, I'm not comparing it to it, but people pay for WrestleManias all the time.
I love WrestleMania.
Right.
I watch that shit all the time.
Would you do that?
I would love to, but I mean, what am I going to do at 40? I mean, I'm 38. You know, when I'm
What's
done
wrong with
fighting,
that?
I
I might do it.
can't.
I'm 45.
I can't go wrestle, man. That shit's
no,
hard.
No USADA in WWE.
It hurts, bro.
You can go ahead and
Have
do
you ever
till
done
you're
it? Been thrown
70.
down on the mat?
No.
It sucks so
Does
bad.
it really?
It burns. It's almost you have no shirt on and you're getting body slammed onto that mat. That mat has give,
Yeah.
but it stings so bad. It's like
Ah.
the nastiest stinging feel. It's crazy.
Oh, well, maybe I don't want to do it. No one's asking me anyway, but
I
I'm
would
just saying
love,
I would do
love
that.
to. I would love to do it. It's
Why
fun.
you do that? You could just be like, get HGH and shit and eat all
Be
the
all
fucking
tall.
cakes you want.
Imagine if I got like super tall, like seriously. Imagine if I got like super tall, like seriously, like what if? Because they say when you do the HGH, you don't know exactly what's gonna grow.
Yeah.
It's like something's gonna grow. What if I just got fucking tall as shit,
Yeah,
right?
I would do that.
Right?
Come back at like 6'2" and be like, go away for a couple years, come back 6'2", wearing knee.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. I'm super clean.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Wheaties.
I would
What
do
happens to, in your opinion, Jon Jones' psyche if you clearly defeat him? If you beat him outright, say submit him or knock him out?
Ronda effect, yeah.
Right, that's what
This
I'm
dude
asking.
goes off the rails, man.
We're back on the rails.
Well,
Hey!
wow. Well, yeah. No, I don't know if he can handle that.
Right.
That's what I said. I don't think you get another rematch.
I think his story. I think his story is this one. okay, as long as there's championship belts, fame, and excess, he will struggle. But when that's all gone, when the spotlight's gone, maybe he will live life the way that he can. But the moment he is back in this life with the spotlight and the championships and the belts and the big fights, it was like Tyson. You remember how crazy Tyson was?
Yep.
And it's like now that he's older and all that spotlight's gone, he seems to be living his life the way you would hope for. You know, like he seems healthy. He doesn't seem to be on all kinds of drugs.
Don't you think that was, I mean, really... I mean, I'm a guy that used to take a lot of drugs too. There's a certain amount of drugs that you take where you can't do those drugs that way again. And even if you want it, like, even if you had it to do all over again, but you're 35, they don't do the same thing they used to.
I don't really know.
I know. Well,
it's like,
take it from me.
Yeah.
That's not something that you can withstand.
I just
Eventually,
think,
you give up. Your body gives up.
I just think that as he gets older, when all this other stuff is gone, like I think, then his life will be just normal, you know, like just chill, you know, with his family. But
I hope so, man.
I
But
just
I feel
think
like when you get that big that quick and you're so young, it's really hard to come down from. Really.
But
hard.
you have to. When the spotlight's gone, the spotlight's gone, and what's left, you know.
But
like,
you could turn to.
Are we gonna have? Is he gonna be?
I mean, he didn't
calling
go,
fights? Is he gonna
didn't
be
go to
doing?
rehab? Did he?
He went for a day. He cured that
Dude,
shit
I'm-
quick, didn't he?
I'm an addict.
He cured. He
Like,
went for a day. He was
me-
like, "I'm done."
Me and Catherwood are addicts. We go to meetings.
He went for a day.
We're well aware. And then I was like, wait, that doesn't...
Okay, so
It's a really
but
good
it-
program.
Okay, so wait. So here, this is the thing though. It's like it's not even that it doesn't count. It's like, well, is he really taking it seriously? Right? Like,
Yeah.
is he really trying to take it serious to where he gets better? Because he bragged about beating me a week after he had a
You
cocaine
caught
problem.
him. You caught him in an interview. I brought it up. He said, I did cocaine when I beat you.
The week before.
I'm like,
I did
so now
cocaine.
you're admitting that you're doing coke 2 times, even though you said you'd only tried it one
Remember,
time.
he said, remember
Right.
that was the
Yeah.
story. The story was, I'm gonna go to rehab because I was hanging with a bad group of guys, and I just tried it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, you don't try it a month before the biggest fight of your life.
Yeah, nobody just tries it. Yeah.
And then he said he did it the week before we fought. So I mean, I was like, well, I thought you said the first time was the first time.
Yeah. No, you legitimately busted him in a thing where I was like, wait a minute, does that mean that he would test positive? Does that mean that you just like voiced that your victory against DC is not a real? I mean, they take if it
It's
was
a
Nate
real
Diaz
victory.
that said that, they take it away from him.
So let me ask you a question. You know, you said you've done drugs.
All of it,
When
way
you
more than
do-
Jon Jones.
But if you do like cocaine,
Yeah.
what does it do? Like, does it make you feel worse? Does it, I mean, I don't understand. I don't
Oh, if
understand.
I was
Why would
to-
he do it a week before a fight? Wouldn't that scare you? Like, it could make you worse.
The only way I would do cocaine before a fight is because I've done cocaine before a skateboard contest back when I did cocaine. And I did cocaine because I was addicted to it and I wanted to do it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that I could sneak a little bit in before the contest and still pull off a 75% Jason Ellis at the contest.
But how? Like,
Did it help? No fucking way. did
okay,
it help.
it
No.
would make it worse.
Oh,
right?
yeah. No, it was like, can I have a hangover 5 days out before the fight?
So then it would be he's addicted to do it a week before
Fuck
a
yeah.
fight. Exactly. That's
Right.
what I was kind of getting at. Like,
Yeah.
there's no benefit to it.
No, we all, myself and Catherwood both know that when Jon Jones said that he did cocaine, but like anywhere near a fight or, I train. There's nothing harder in the world. That's half the reason I do it. Is because there's the ultimate test. What MMA guys go through, the amount of training and bullshit they do, I've never seen anybody go through anything else any harder. To add a drug to it, it's just like, I even freaked out. I used to smoke weed all the time. When the Diaz brothers, when someone told me they burned one before they fought, I'm like, that's fucking impossible. But
Really?
then someone saying that, it would have helped with pain. I'm like, fuck off. Like,
It makes it worse.
no, what, just pain. Like, I smoked weed with the head tattoo. Fucking do anything. It hurt like a motherfucker. It might have actually made it worse because you're kind of like more in touch with stuff. But to think that anybody can argue that marijuana helps you fight is just like insane. And cocaine, I don't know, maybe I could do a bump right before I fight.
But you better hope that ends in the first round. You better hope that fight ends in the first round.
But your heart rate's going up. You're gassing faster.
That's what I mean. Like, if you did blow right before you got in, like, you're going to go Tony Montana.
Someone told me that Chuck Liddell might have done that.
Plenty of NFL players did, especially in the 80s.
Really?
They were going back to their locker at halftime.
Yeah, but isn't there like a break there with the NFL?
It would hurt you if you did that right before.
It would give you immense confidence and aggression, but like I said, you better knock that guy out in 30 seconds because that will drain the shit out of you.
Yeah, a lot of bar fighters are coked up dudes.
Yeah.
So there is that thing.
Short answer, no. Doesn't help. Not at all. No way.
Just the sleep deprivation alone from a long night of blow.
Well, people just think they
would be terrible
people
for a
do it
camp.
because they think they can get away with it. You know, there's players in the NBA who probably drink the night before games because they're still 24 years old and they don't actually notice a difference.
Oh but then there's that. You can definitely be 24 and you can do everything and then do it the next day.
Especially if you're a super athlete.
Right.
You know, you probably and with a justifiable kind of argument to it, you probably feel invincible. You know, I was a pile of shit with no job and no real prospects in life. And I felt like I was the coolest guy in the world when I was 20 years old, just keyed out, walking through a club, you know, not letting people know I live on people's couches. But I got cocaine in my system.
See, that's why I feel like John's going to do, if Daniel beats him, it's going to, what is the thing that can match you walking out to the cage again? You know, cocaine is not going to match it, but it comes pretty close if you do enough of it. That's why it's going to be knocking, you know?
I really don't even, like,
It's kind of your fault. If you beat
not
him and he gets addicted to cocaine, it's your fault.
shit. That's just his
saying.
burden to deal with. His burden to deal
there's
with.
one person to blame, and that's you. All right, do you have to go? How long? We just talked to him for 2 hours. Fuck yeah, man. Fuck it. If he doesn't get pulled out of here, I don't care.
Where the hell is Chris?
Thanks for being on the show, dude.
No problem, man. Thank you guys so much, man. This is awesome.
We'll be back, everybody.
You guys are funny.
A real pleasure to meet you, man.
You guys are awesome, dude. That's great. Talk about anything, huh?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
That's what we do.
Good luck, man. Real pleasure.
Thank you.
Very nice to meet you.